Sorry about making another part 2. My phone storage starts getting low, so I'll try and make this brief. Yeah, then it gets closer, and you've been all cool, and no, it doesn't matter about how much you're spending. It's the thought that counts, and the children know that. But then inertly, like the built-in sort of generosity thing or whatever, or whether it's just we've been brainwashed by consumer society, says, no, you haven't got them enough. If you count the presents, there is an even number for them all. And yes, one may have this present that costs more than another one. We try and do it like that. There's a budget. But, you know, you feel bad going into the day, the big day, with, you know, one particular child with, I don't know, I'm making a number up, but 12 presents, another child with 6 presents. You think, yeah, but the time lapse, you know, at the end of them opening their 6th present, there could be another 20 minutes of present opening, in which time they'd be maybe mentally in floods of, you don't love me as much because you haven't given me as many presents. I'm not working out the accounts, so it needs to be the same numbers wise. So go out and buy last minute presents and spend what you said you weren't going to spend anyway. And is this shared by all parents, middle-aged parents and people out there? You know, do they in the end eventually end up spending more than they should every Christmas because it gets nearer and nearer the day, and you think, well, actually, yeah, we do need you because we've accidentally spent this much on one of them, and the other one will be upset. And so, yeah, in the end, it's all it all still is about the money, and going to the doctors. It's a random segue, but you know, at my age, you talk to the doctor about more and more stuff. I've made an appointment today, and bizarrely, the woman said to me, "What's it concerning?" And so I said, she said, "Oh, do you mind letting us know what it's concerning?" And I said, "It's a growth." Why would it be a growth? It's a mole I wanted to talk to her about, a mole that may have got a bit bigger than neighbours have walked by. I love the neighbours. We've got really nice new neighbours. And it's just a mole I wanted to talk to her about, because it's growing a bit more than, it's the one on the end of the nose. I consider it a mole. It's great. It's not really growing at super speed, but it's growing enough for me to want to talk to him and say it's something you can just lop off, some cream I can rub on it, which just destroys it. And she had a trainee beside her, and for some reason, instead of going, it's just a sore mole I want to talk about, I went, yeah, it's a growth. I leaned in, said, yeah, it's a growth. I didn't say where, and by not saying where and by saying growth, I think I made it sound much worse than it was. But now I'm at this age, I want everything cleared up immediately, even little things. I go back and say, yeah, I'll probably see them about this eyebrow. Yeah, this one's grown apart. To try and cover up my stupidity, I'll say this one's growing a gap. Anything I can do about it, any cream I can rub on to make that bit of my eyebrow grow bigger. I've seen about all sorts. I've had about 3 moles removed because I didn't like the look of them, and I thought I may as well get them taken off. I've seen him about a lump on the back of my ear that happened when I had my ear pierced when I was about 16. Anything that I think that could be destroyed, make me look more perfect, but old, but better, not perfect. But when you're young, you don't want to talk about anything. You know, your ears coming off, like in a Mr. Potato Head, like ears are off. Oh, they'll be all right. You know, I can't be bothered. They'll grow back on. If I just hold them there for ages, they'll weld themselves back on. It kind of turns around. Old age, I'm getting my money's worth for this NHS. I'm going to see about everything. My chin's too hairy. What should I do about it? Is that bird flu? I don't know. Anyway, so Christmas and going to the doctor, 2 very middle-aged problems, which I would like people to watch this and maybe have some dialogue about. But take care, thank you for watching these 2, and I will no doubt speak again soon with more changes, different backdrops, other things involved. I don't want to bore you with this because I'm still enjoying doing it. You take care, bye-bye.